Right. And entering here is the Honorable Sheila Jackson Lee, a Democrat from Texas. Congresswoman, wait, is this applause for her or for me? Now, wait a second. Anyway, Congresswoman Jackson is a member of Congress from the great state of Texas. Now, let's hear it for Texas. She's a member of the House Homeland Security as well as Judiciary Committees. Madam Congresswoman.
Thank you so much. Call this a celebration, and I think we're going to have a celebration very, very soon because I'm honored and privileged to have such royalty sitting behind me, such thoughtful leaders, and if you don't mind acknowledging, of course, my colleague who opened up, the Honorable Ted Poe. We call him Judge. But to say Judge McCasey, who I had the privilege of working with as he took over as the interim Attorney General, but the Attorney General of the United States, General Hugh Shelton, I've had the privilege of working with the FBI Director Free and General Jones, of course, presidential candidate and doctor and DNC Chairman Howard Dean, and Ambassador Dobrinsky, Tom Ridge, Secretary. It's a privilege. We spent some harrowing times together, and we are grateful for your very presence here, and of course, Ambassador Daly. And so thoughtfulness certainly is the anchor of today, but allow me to speak from the heart so that our thoughtful, constructive day can continue. And that is when gentlemen and ladies of this caliber come together and ask for reason, our nation should listen. I just left a Judiciary Committee where someone offered legislation to say, "In God we trust." And I did not quarrel with that legislation. I only sought to expand it to say that we are a nation that respects people of all different faiths, and that individuals in our nation can pray in whatever manner they desire. So I would hope that those words, "In God we trust," would embrace the richness of our diversity. The people of Iran, the people at Camp Ashraf, only seek the human dignity of being respected for who they are. Miriam, who has carried the struggle of freedom, only seeks human dignity. And so in this year and time of celebrating the new year, Nurez, I want you to know that I view this as a time of renewal. I am glad to see the people of faith breathing life into the Constitution we love, a Constitution that respects distinctive faith and people. It is time to free the people of Camp Ashraf, to free them of the bloodshed, to free them of the indignity, the freedom of the isolation. It is time to free them. We have respect for our system of law. We respect when a court, through the process of petition, renders a decision. Now, with a court decision that suggests that we should review the MEK, I would hope that thoughtful people, not raging, not hysterical, but thoughtful people, prayerful people, merciful people, will take the opportunity to look-see, to work with us as I worked on the Foreign Affairs Committee, to ask the hard questions about those in Camp Ashraf, about their health condition, about their freedom. And even as we have seen some of the deterioration in Iraq, we know that we must support those who want to be liberated, but we must also find a way for them to understand the freedom of that camp. And then it is certainly a day of commemoration and celebration for those in Iran who had the courage to stand up, as we have watched Egypt and Yemen and Bahrain, as we see the turmoil and controversy in Libya, to see the people of Iran standing and stretching their hand to the freedom that they deserve. My words to you today join with you on Iran rising for freedom, and what our U.S. policy should be is one of mercy and gratitude for that we have sprung and given birth. The mothers should always be proud. America, the oldest democracy, should be proud that there are those who cling to that value, and we must always stand ready to stand with them. We have got our laws. We have got our marching orders. We have heard from the court. We have these distinguished Americans. What more? What more? I stand with you as we continue to press for the freedom and the dignity that is embedded in us, in our heart, to be spread throughout. Reverend, may I introduce you from my hometown, Mr. Stan, and I'm delighted to be with him. I know his father, and he is a distinguished lover of justice. Ali Sadani, we are brothers and sisters, and so I close by simply saying, Martin King, who gave me an opportunity to see freedom in this nation, reminded me in his last words before his death that he always believed that America had a promised land. He did not know if he would get to that promised land someday. I paraphrase his words. I know that the world, I know that Iran will have a promised land someday of freedom and justice. And I have faith that those of us in this room will get there with them someday. Blessings upon you. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it for Sheila Jackson Lee of the great state of Texas. She has a footnote.
I never leave the podium without appropriately thanking the men and women in the United States military who've shed their bloods, General Hugh Shelton and General James Jones, for the service to their nation, even beyond your presence here today. God bless all of you all. Thank you.
We have another member of Congress, another man from Georgia. My mother was born in West Point, Georgia, so I feel very close to this gentleman, Congressman Hank Johnson of Georgia.